My parents kept all the money they stole from me while I was in university and shove it up their ass. I got a job while I was in high school. It was with a friend of my father. I put away most of it and just bought myself some stuff I wanted, but my parents wouldn't buy for me. My parents aren't rich, but they do well enough. They wanted me to appreciate that material goods were paid for with my time. I didn't mind. I bought myself a PS4 and some games, which they made me share with my younger brother and sister. Once again, I didn't mind. I mostly played while they did homework or slept. When I graduated from high school, they said I had to start paying rent. That sucked because I was going to university in the fall, and I was hoping to save up over the summer so I could work less during the school year. So I worked my ass off in school and at work. I ended up getting a job loading delivery trucks before school, and that sucked because I went to sleep at 7 p.m. most nights so I could get up early and go to work. I am about to graduate and I found a job in another province. I have already started doing my onboarding and online training. I will go from graduation to loading my car to leave. My parents had a graduation party for me where they tried to present me with a check for all the rent I paid, plus a pittance in interest. I looked at the check for about a minute and I started laughing. All I could think of was the fact that I had no social life during university. Because I was working, I didn't have any money in investments like my friends did, because they were taking my money. I asked them how they were doing this for my sister. They said they weren't since she wasn't working while she went to school. I tire up the check and told them to shove it up their asses. I told them that when they compensated me for all the sleep I lost, 4 years of no social life during university, and 4 summer vacations, I would speak to them again. I told my little brother not to get a job or they would fuck him over too. I went to my room, grabbed my computer, some clothes, my PS4, and my toiletries. My brother and sister can play on the PS5 my parents bought the family. They were yelling at me the whole time. I said if they touched me or tried to stop me, I would call the cops. I loaded up my car, that I paid for, I insure, and is registered to me. I drove to my friend's parents' house and had a bit of a breakdown. They let me stay there since she is away at university in another city. I blocked my parents and my brother and sister. I had already given notice at my job, so I called my boss and told him I was sick and would not be available for my last week. He said he understood and laughed. He said he was surprised I had kept working this close to graduation. My grandfather called me to talk a couple of days later. We went to Timmy's, and he let me unload everything I felt. They took money from me that I could have used to make my life better. I didn't even have time for a girlfriend. My entire university romantic life was hooking up with a woman I work with when her ex-husband had the kids for the weekend. He said my parents' hearts were in the right place and that they thought they were helping me. I said they owed me 4 years of fun, of parties I was too tired to go to, of social events and networking I didn't do, all the shit they were subsidizing for my sister, and that they would end up subsidizing for my brother. He said he understood and hugged me. He is old, but I couldn't have gotten free of that hug if I tried. He asked me if I needed money to start my new job. I said I did not want anything that came from my parents. He gave me a cashier's check for about 3 times what my parents took from me. He said to use it however I wanted in my new life. He said it wasn't part of my inheritance or anything. It was a gift from him and something my grandma would have wanted me to have. My friends think I was stupid to tear up the check. Most of them agree with me about being pissed at my parents. Some family have called me to say I behaved terribly and that I owe my parents an apology. I thank them for the call or message and block them. I'm calmer now, and I do not think I am in the wrong. But maybe I'm too close to see what I'm missing. Update, not sure why, but my other throwaway got deleted. I took a lot of what you guys had to say to heart. I unblocked my family and spoke with my parents. I agreed to meet with them for lunch today. We went to the keg and talked. They said they didn't realize how I felt for those 4 years. My mom cried and said she was very sorry that I felt like they didn't care about me. I guess they read my post from before it got taken down, and they are disturbed by what I wrote. They are also upset that my girlfriend is a single mom, 14 years older than me. They asked if they could meet her, and I said no. They offered me the check again, and this time I took it and thanked them. I said I would come home later. After lunch, I went to the bank and deposited it. Since we all bank at the same branch, it was easy to cash it. I made sure that the money was in my account. Then I blocked them again. I just wrote my girlfriend a check for $43 to help her out. It was the interest on the money, more or less. She is a decent person, and she taught me a lot. She works her ass off loading trucks, and she deserves something good in her life. I know that isn't me. I am seeing my grandfather tomorrow. I am going to make sure he knows what I did and why. I am also going to invite him out to see my new place once I move our west. I'm spending the weekend at my girlfriend's house since her ex has the kids. Update. My last update on my parents. My money, my grandpa, and my girlfriend. This is the best I can do if you want all the drama. Sorry, Tuesday is my convocation. I gave the tickets to my grandfather and my girlfriend. Wednesday, I'm taking a flight home and never coming back here for any reason other than to see my grandfather. My grandpa came out to see my new apartment, and I took him for a drive from my new city down to another, then through the mountains and home. He had never seen the Rockies before. My parents are pissed that they will not get to see me graduate, but since they had fuck all to do with my success thus far in my life, they don't deserve it. I got some great advice from this sub and the other one. I will start seeing a therapist when I get to the city where I will be working. Not to reconcile with my parents or anything, just to deal with my hatred and maybe get to a better place. I left my old phone at my parents' house, and I have a new phone number that only my grandpa, my friend, her parents, and my girlfriend know. If I get a call from my parents, I will ditch it and just have my grandfather know my number. I have been lurking on Reddit, and I cannot believe how many other parents think this is the right way to deal with kids. If you do this, please choke. So yeah. Still angry, still cutting those useless people out of my life. Happy to be moving forward. Thanks for reading this and for the advice. All of you that agreed with my parents, I hope you do better with your kids. If not, you deserve what you get. Before heading to another story, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. My sister slept with my boyfriend, and I sent her a really cruel message that I don't regret at all. My sister slept with my boyfriend, and I sent her a really cruel message that I don't regret at all. Sorry, but this post will have a lot of bad energy, and I'm terrible at writing in English, so if anyone is going to read the post, I'm sorry for all the grammatical errors that are likely to be in the post. So a few days ago, I, F25, found out that my sister, 24F, has been sleeping with my boyfriend, now ex, 25mil. We dated for 3 years, for 1 year, or probably more. They always had a close relationship, but I obviously took it as something innocent. I don't like video games, but my sister does, so they talked a lot by text, and I thought it was about games they like, until I found out that no, they talked a lot about their secret dates while I was working. And in college, I found pictures, videos, and a lot of other disgusting things in the chats between my ex and my sister. My pathetic sister found pleasure in asking my pathetic ex all the time if she's smarter or prettier than me. She even compared our private parts with, "We're both pretty. She's actually thinner and prettier than me. And even if she's an introvert, she has her group of friends. So I really don't understand where she got so much venom towards me. Our parents never compared us or anything like that, and she was always the one asking my ex to compare both of us in the chats. The first thing I did was throw all my ex-boyfriend's things out of the apartment. I insulted him in 1,000 ways, and I kept the PC that I gave him for Christmas. I didn't speak a single word to my sister for over a week, and she didn't contacted me like the coward she is until yesterday, when she sent me a message trying to justify herself by saying that it was a mistake. Yes, a mistake that lasted more than a year, and that I should forgive her because we're sisters and blah blah blah. At one point I thought, should I be the mature person in the situation who doesn't let resentment speak for her? But then I realized that I've never been that kind of person. I took my phone and wrote a long message to my sister that I would love to write here, but I am sure that I would break the rules since I called her out in every possible way, and I wrote a lot of personal things too. I told her how much of a failure she is and how she has always envied me, and that's why she needed to feel what it's like to be me for a second of her sad life. She sent me a voice massage crying and saying that she's in a very weak moment mentally, but she's still with him, LMAO. And I shouldn't make her feel worse and that she regrets it. I just reacted to her message with this haha, and didn't even heard the long voice message until the end. Was it a low thing to attack her with all her flaws? Yes, but it's lower to betray your sister and believe that she's going to forgive you just because you share blood with her. Honestly, I feel really good after sending her that message and feel that it was therapeutic to take out everything I feel to give closure to that. BTW, I've never used a PC for gaming, but I'm looking for tutorials on YouTube about how to download The Sims. I helped my sister in every moment of her life. I literally fought for her when she was being bullied during high school. I helped her thousands of times to make friends. I even accompanied her everywhere she wanted. It is a betrayal that really hurts, and I will never forgive, never. It hurts me that she slept with someone I loved, but it hurts me a lot all the things I read in those chats. How she enjoyed watching him compare me to her, or how she asked him about personal things about our relationship just to laugh at it. She's dead to me, and my parents knows it. I don't even care if I'm a bad person like them. This is something I can't forgive, and I don't even feel bad for my reaction. As a token of appreciation, and because I also like it when the op uploads the whole gossip, I will put here half of the message I sent to my sister. The message I sent her was really long, and I cut out the parts where I talk about very private things, or when I insulted her to not make the post too uncomfortable because I was really hurt and angry at that moment, and I talked about many personal things in the text. I will put the copy of the message in the end if someone talks Spanish. I'm sorry if it sounds weird in English. I did my best to translate it, and I had to remove a lot of parts. I'm not interested in hearing any of your excuses. I believed you when a problem she had with her ex-friend group happened because I really trusted that you would never do something like that. But now I understand why everyone leaves you alone and you deserve it. What you did to me is a shit, and you know it. But you didn't care because you spent a year being the whore of X name without any shame. And now that I found out everything, you went days without talking to me because you are a coward. And on top of that, you still don't care about what you did to me. You're only talking to me because Dad probably stopped talking to you and you're running out of money, so you want to fix this shit so he gives you money again. You were always an asshole, but don't you think it's a lot to be my boyfriend's second woman? How little respect do you have for yourself? We're sisters. I don't even know what's going on in your head because I don't understand what's wrong with you. Girl, I read all the messages between you, and you even started comparing our bodies. You're sick. You know that I never did anything for you to do this to me, and I loved you. But everything turned out really well for you because he's with you. So enjoy that feeling and the love you two have for the other for now, because you are going to be really lonely later, and you are going to go back to your cave. But this time, I am not going to be there to pity you like every time I did before. Stay with him. There's nothing that interests me less than fighting for an idiot who is surely going to leave you. But let me make it clear to you that you're not going to hear about me again. This dies here. We are not sisters anymore. If I see you on the street, then I'm going to cross to the opposite sidewalk to not see you. Update. He broke up, and nobody's surprised. When all of this happened, my parents scolded my sister, and she got offended, and didn't speak to our parents except to ask them for money. She asked them for money to buy things for her career. But then my aunt told my parents that my sister actually used that money to buy my ex some sneakers. My parents never gave her any money from that day on. She's an idiot, TBH. My parents started to pay for us to go to a private college, and the only thing we have to do is literally study. The only thing she had to do was take her studies seriously, but she didn't. So my father got tired and hasn't sent her money for months. My ex discovered the post because he said it went viral on Facebook, and obviously he recognized the story. He contacted me to apologize and said he knows he did wrong by hurting me like that. But my sister manipulated him, and it was a total mistake. I told him he can shove his apologies in the ass. Meanwhile, my sister and I have only crossed paths a few times, but she always avoids me because she thinks I'm going to hit her. I won't. We're not going to the same career, so we luckily don't see each other too much. Anyway, a few days ago, she went to our parents' house saying that she broke up with my ex, IDKY, and that she felt really sad and had an anxiety attack. I don't know exactly what they talked about since I wasn't there, but my mother told me that she told my sister that she knew what was going to happen when she slept with him, and my sister justified herself by saying that they're in love. So my mother and her just argued again, and my sister left. Now she doesn't talk to anyone in the family except our grandmother to ask for money. I know my sister is not going to change her bad habits and she didn't learn anything from this. I even think she will get together with my ex again because they're just toxic with each other. But it's her life to ruin, not mine, and I don't care anymore. The bright side, I sold the PC to a guy from Reddit that saw my post, and that really saved me from having to keep paying the dues. Unfortunately, I didn't get to play The Sims much, but I prefer the extra money. My ex had told me that he wanted the PC back, but I told him that then he should pay the remaining dues. And he said no, so the idiot wanted the PC for free, even though he slept with my sister. The weird side, there are YouTubers who are literally charging their subscribers to read the post or other Reddit posts in their podcast, TF, at least give me a share of the profits. No, it's a boring update, and probably everyone wanted that the update was my sister begging for forgiveness and my ex suffering. But no, they are just two idiots who deserve each other, and nothing more happened. But even today, I received a message asking me for an update. Ha ha ha.